My father wants you to meet you at that place. You already know what that means, even if you pretend you don't. When my father asks for someone, it's never a request, it's a verdict. I can hear your silence through the air between us, heavy, shaking, trying to decide whether to run or obey. I won't lie to you, that place isn't kind. It doesn't welcome innocence, and it doesn't forgive curiosity. Yet your name has crossed a line it should never have touched, and once that happens, there is no clean way back. I'm not warning you to scare you. I'm warning you because I care more than I should, and less than you deserve. You think I'm calm because my voice doesn't rise, because I don't beg you to refuse. But understand this, control is the only thing keeping me from tearing the world apart right now. My father doesn't invite people, he measures them, he weighs their past, their fears, their weaknesses. And you are standing exactly where power loves to test its strength. If I could erase you from his sight, I would. If I could rewrite the path that led you here, I'd burn the old one myself. But some doors open only once, and this one has your shadow on it. Don't mistake my distance for coldness. I'm speaking to you like this because if I let my emotions slip, you'll hear the truth in a way that might destroy you. I don't want you walking into that meeting thinking bravery will save you. It won't. What will save you, if anything, are your choices, your words, and how well you hide what you feel. My father respects restraint, not courage. Look at him, but never challenge him. Speak when spoken to. And whatever you do, don't mention me unless he does first. You should know something I've never said out loud. The reason this bothers me isn't loyalty, and it isn't fear. It's you. You exist in a space where nothing is supposed to be soft, and that alone makes you dangerous to them and to me. I don't need you close to feel you. I don't need your voice to hear you. That's the problem. In my world, attachments are liabilities, and you've become one without even trying. If my father senses that the meeting will change its meaning entirely, I won't be there beside you, and that's the hardest part to admit. Not because I'm weak, but because my presence would make things worse. This is something you have to face alone, even though every instinct in me wants to pull you back into the safety of my silence. If you walk away after this, untouched and unchanged, don't look for me. It will mean I succeeded in protecting you from a distance, and if things don't go as planned, then remember this moment, this voice, and know that whatever happens next was never your fault. Go to that place, hold your ground without standing too tall, and when you leave, because I believe you will, carry this with you. In a world ruled by men like my father, you were seen and you survived. That alone makes you unforgettable. I didn't stop thinking after I said those words to you. Silence doesn't calm me, it sharpens everything. Every second after, I imagined you standing there alone, breathing carefully, pretending you're not afraid. You've always done that, wearing control like armor, even when your hands are shaking inside it. You don't know how rare that is in my world. People here either beg or attack. You do neither, and that's exactly why my father noticed you. Power recognizes balance, and balance threatens it. You might think I'm distant because I don't reach for you, because I don't soften my tone. But understand this, if I ever spoke to you gently, it would expose too much. I'm already standing on a line I swore I'd never cross. You don't belong in the shadows I come from, yet you've learned to survive inside them without asking for permission. That kind of strength isn't loud, it's quiet, and it terrifies men who built their lives on fear, my father included. When you walk into that place, they'll try to read you. Not your words, your pauses, not your face, your eyes. They'll look for cracks, for hunger, for desperation. Don't give them any. Let them see calm even if it's borrowed. Let them believe you're there, because you choose to be, not because you were summoned. Choice unsettles people like us more than rebellion ever could. Remember that. Choice is the only weapon you can carry without being searched. You probably wonder why I'm letting this happen, why I didn't end it before it reached this point. The truth is cruel and simple. Some tests can't be avoided. If I had intervened, you would have become a problem instead of a question. Questions still have answers. Problems get erased. I chose the lesser danger for you, even if it makes me look heartless. I can live with your anger. I wouldn't survive your disappearance. There's something else you should know, even if it changes how you see me. I don't trust easily. I calculate, I predict, I control. Yet with you, control slips in ways I don't understand. You make me pause. You make me reconsider outcomes I used to accept without thought. That's dangerous for me and for you, because if my father ever realizes you influence my decisions, he won't need another reason to pull you deeper into his reach. If you make it through and walk away clean, don't mistake that for freedom. It would mean you passed unnoticed, which is the safest victory you can have. Go back to your life. Pretend this world never brushed against yours. Forget the tone of my voice. Forget the weight behind my words. That will be my final protection. Distance, cold and absolute. I won't chase you. I won't look for you. That's how you'll know you're safe. But if something changes, if you feel the air grow heavier around your name, if familiar streets start feeling watched, then remember this: I never stop seeing you, even from afar, even in silence. And if the darkness ever reaches too close, I won't speak first, I'll act. Because some things once claimed by this world are never truly released, and some people are worth breaking rules for, even when the cost is everything. I don't tell you this to comfort you, and I don't tell you this to frighten you. I tell you because truth is the only currency I have left. After that meeting, nothing around you will feel accidental anymore. You'll start noticing how easily doors open, how quickly conversations end when you enter a room. Don't let it get to your head. Influence given is not power earned. My father gives space only to see how someone fills it and whether they deserve to keep breathing inside it. You may think you walked out unchanged, but I know better. Encounters like that leave marks you can't wash off. They settle into the way you observe people, the way you measure silence before you speak. That awareness will keep you alive if you respect it. Don't rush decisions. Don't trust kindness that arrives too quickly. In my world, speed is suspicion and generosity is usually a leash disguised as a gift. You should also understand why I keep speaking to you like this, from a distance that feels deliberate. If I stood in front of you, my restraint would crack. I'd say things I can't afford to mean out loud. I'd make promises that would drag you deeper instead of letting you go. Distance is discipline. It's the only thing stopping me from choosing you over everything else, and that choice would end badly for both of us. I've lived my entire life knowing exactly who I am and what I'm expected to become. There was no room for hesitation, no permission to want something different. Then you appeared, not demanding anything, not asking for protection, not even knowing what you disrupted. That's what unsettles me. You don't need this world, yet it bends slightly when you pass through it. My father noticed that bend. So did I. If you ever wonder whether this was all a mistake, let me answer you now: it wasn't. It was inevitable. Some people collide not because they choose to, but because the path demands it. You were always going to be tested. The only difference is that now you know how sharp the edge is. Knowledge is a burden, but it's also armor. Wear it quietly. Never let them see how heavy it feels. I won't ask you to trust me. Trust is a weakness I can't afford to encourage. Instead, understand me. Everything I do is calculated to keep you out of reach while making sure no one else can pull you closer. It's a dangerous balance, and one day it may fail. If that happens, don't wait for words from me. Silence will be your warning. Silence will mean I'm already moving. And if this is the last time I ever speak to you like this, remember one thing clearly. You were never invisible to me, even when I chose distance, even when I chose control. In a life built on power and obedience, you were the one variable I couldn't predict. That doesn't make you safe. It makes you significant. And significance, in my word, is both a gift and a curse I'll carry alone. There are things I still haven't said, not because I don't feel them, but because saying them would change the balance. Words have weight here. They tip scales. They redraw hierarchies. I've survived by knowing exactly when to speak and when to disappear into restraint. With you, that discipline has been tested more times than I'll admit. Every instinct tells me to explain myself, to make sure you understand why distance is mercy. But explanations create intimacy, and intimacy creates targets. You may never fully grasp how closely your life brushed against something irreversible. One wrong glance, one emotional reaction, one careless attachment, and you wouldn't be walking freely anymore. You'd belong to a system that doesn't ask permission to own people. I watched that danger circle you, slow and patient, and I intervened in the only way that wouldn't expose you. From the outside, it looks like absence. From the inside, it's constant vigilance. I know you're stronger than you think, but strength alone isn't enough here. Survival is about timing, about knowing when to stand still and let threats pass you by. Don't rush to prove yourself to anyone. You don't owe this world clarity, courage, or loyalty. You owe yourself continuity, a life uninterrupted. If you protect that, then everything I've done, every choice, every silence will have been worth it. There's a part of me that wonders what would happen if circumstances were different, if my name didn't carry the weight it does, if my father's shadow didn't stretch so far. That curiosity is dangerous, and I shut it down every time it surfaces. Hypotheticals are luxuries I can't afford. Still, notice not all restraint is indifference. Some restraint is sacrifice, carefully disguised so no one else has to pay the price for it. If you ever think I forgot you, understand how forgetting works for people like me. We don't forget faces, voices, or moments. We compartmentalize them so they don't interfere with survival. You're not erased. You're secured somewhere that can't be accessed by anyone else. That's the closest thing to protection I can offer without pulling you back into orbit. You'll continue living your life, and from a distance I won't admit to, I'll make sure it stays that way. You won't see the adjustments, the quiet redirections, the conversations that never reach you. That's intentional. Safety should feel boring. If things feel too smooth, too normal, that means it's working. Danger only announces itself when it's already too late. So let this be the shape of what we never named. No promises, no reunions, no dramatic endings, just a line that was crossed and then guarded from both sides. If you ever think of me, don't attach emotion to it, attach understanding. I did what I had to do. And in a world that consumes everything it touches, sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing exactly when to let go and never look back. I won't pretend this was easy to carry. Control looks effortless from the outside, but inside it's a constant negotiation with instinct. Every time I chose restraint, I chose it against something sharp and demanding. You don't see the calculations, the names crossed out, the futures quietly redirected. That's intentional. Protection should never feel like protection. It should feel like nothing happened at all. If you ever doubt whether I meant what I said, remember this: nothing costs more in my world than choosing not to take what you could. You learn to read rooms differently now. You feel when attention lingers a second too long, when silence is listening instead of resting. Don't fight that awareness. refine it, let it sharpen you without hardening you. The moment you turn cold, you become interesting, and interest is a hook. Stay human, stay ordinary. Ordinary slips through systems designed to catch extremes. That's how people survive without becoming owned. There's a line I won't cross even for you, and I need you to understand why. If I ever stepped fully into your life, it would stop being yours. Everything would acquire meaning through me. Every decision, every mistake, every victory. You would lose the freedom to fail privately. I won't do that to you. Caring doesn't always mean closeness. Sometimes it means refusing to be the center of someone else's gravity. You might think power is loud, that it announces itself with force. It isn't. Real power is patient. It waits. It lets others exhaust themselves trying to be seen. My father mastered that art, and I learned it watching what it did to people who mistook attention for importance. You avoided that trap without knowing it. That's why you're still free. That's why I intend to keep it that way, even if it costs me something I never planned to value. If one day you hear my name spoken with admiration or fear, let it pass through you without reaction. Don't wear it. Don't reject it. Names like mine are storms. You don't argue with them. You take shelter and let them move on. You were never meant to be part of that weather. You were meant to walk clear skies unnoticed, unclaimed, uninterrupted.